If you want to destroy any defender at the rim, these are the top 7 must-have finishes that you need to add to your bag today. Let's get to it. Now, there's some very important footwork that we have to have mastered before we can start our finishes. The great thing about this footwork is you can use this footwork to do every single finish you could think of, and it's the basic footwork for every single finishing move you see your favorite players do in the NBA. And it's simply this. Whatever hand you're dribbling with, you want your last bounce to hit the ground at the same time as your opposite foot. So what I mean by that is if the ball is in my left hand, I'm going to dribble and take a step with my right foot at the same time and then gather the basketball or pick up my dribble. If the ball's in my right hand, I'm going to take that last dribble and step with my left foot at the same time and then gather the basketball. Next thing I want to talk about is the word gather. You're going to hear me say that a lot, but not many people know exactly what that means. The word gather simply means to pick up your dribble. So when you gather the basketball, that means you've taken your last dribble, touched the ball with both hands, and now you have 2 steps to either pass the ball off to a teammate, to go into your shot, or in today's video, you're going to use those 2 steps to do something creative at the basket to finish strong at the rim. So now that we know what gather means and we have our footwork down, let me show you what to do next. My first finish is the high pickup. So as I take my last dribble and gather the basketball, I want to take a hard step with that back foot and come over the defender's hands with the ball at the same time. And with my last step, I want to go up strong for the finish. There are 3 very important keys that I want you to remember to be a great finisher at the rim. 1, you have to have good handles to beat your first defender off the dribble to get close enough to the basket to get into your finish. 2, you need to have the basic footwork mastered to be able to move through the defense to get past the defender that's trailing you or a defender that might step up to stop you at the basket so you can get into your finish. And 3, you need to have a good grip and touch on the basketball so you can make that layup at the end when you get past your defender. So if you're struggling or need a little bit of help with 1 or more of those 3 things, then just click the link below for my free Skill Spark workout that'll fix all of that for you. Now let's get back to our finishes. Our next finish is the famous Euro step. Now there are all kinds of different variations to the Euro step. I'm just going to be going over the basic Euro step footwork for this one. So as you gather the basketball into both hands, I want you to take that back foot, I want you to take a hard step directly towards your defender. Now, when you take that step towards your defender, you want to protect the ball by bringing the ball to your outside hip. Now from here, if your defender has their hands up high and is frozen, you want to take that last step around your defender and bring the ball low underneath their hands at the same time, and then go up strong for the finish. If the defender has their hands low, then with my last step, I want to bring the ball over the defender's hands and take that wide step around them at the same time and go up strong for the finish. Our next finish is the tuck. So right before you gather the basketball for this one, you want to tuck the ball to your chest and take a step with that back foot at the same time towards the inside of your defender. And with that last step, you want to go up strong for the finish. Our next one is the pro hop. So this one's tricky because we're not going to take 2 steps for this one. We're actually going to hop in the air and land on 2 feet. So after you gather the basketball, you want to jump in the air with your lead foot or opposite foot. But when you're in the air, you want to land with your ball side foot and go up strong for the finish off 2 feet, not 1. Important key here. The pro hop is designed to avoid contact and split through defenders and not initiate contact and bump a defender. So I'm going to bring my defender out to help me show you what I'm talking about. When I gather the basketball, when I go to hop, I want to hop around my defender and go up strong for the finish. I want to be careful not to jump into my defender when I'm doing the pro hop because that's going to be a charge. So you step with that opposite foot, you gather the basketball, leave yourself a little bit of space between you and your defender so when you hop around them and switch feet, you won't run them over and be called for the charge. Our next finish is the penoy step. So for this one, after we gather the basketball, you want to take a long step with your back foot towards either side of your defender. It could be towards the inside or the outside, depending on where your defender is. Now, as you take that step with your back foot, you're going to bring the basketball up in the air with a shot fake to make your defender think you're going to finish early. And then from there, you're going to bring the ball back down to protect it. And with that last step, you're going to go up strong for the finish. Our next finish is the veer step finish. So this one is all about drawing contact and creating space from your defender to have a wide open finish at the end. So what we're going to do is after you gather the basketball, we're going to take a strong step with our outside foot or opposite foot to the outside of our defender. Now with that first step, you want to make sure that you bring the ball to your outside hip to keep it protected. And you want to make sure that first step, even though it's around your defender to the outside, you want to make sure you're as close to your defender as possible without initiating any kind of contact or bump just yet. Because with that last step, we're going to take our inside foot, and that's when we're going to draw the contact. We're going to stay low, and we're going to give our defender, as we step with our inside foot, a little bump with our inside shoulder and step at the same time. That's going to push him towards the basket, so you'll have the rim to help protect you as well, because the closer they are to the rim, the less chance they have to block you. So after you give them that little bump with your last step, that's when you explode up for a strong finish. Important key here. If your defender is trailing you, but not in front of you just yet, they're on your back hip, then to have a really effective veer finish, you want to decelerate your body or slow down with that first step to give them a slight chance to catch up with you. And why? Because with that last step, that's when you're going to stay low, and with your inside shoulder, you're going to give them a little bump to initiate contact, to push them towards the rim so they can't block your shot, and to throw them off balance. But the most important reason why you're going to give them that little bump, because that's going to open up space to have a wide open layup. Now, if the defender is sliding over and not on your back hip, that's when you don't have to decelerate. You want to go strong, but you want to make sure that first step, after you gather the basketball, is really close to them without initiating contact. You don't want to initiate contact with your first step. That'll be a charge most of the time. It's that second step where you give them that little bump to throw them off balance, and that's when you go up strong for your finish, with your second step, not your first. Our next finish is the low pickup. So with your last dribble, you want to kill the basketball or gather the basketball below your knees, underneath your defender's hands. Next, with that back foot, you're going to take a big step to the inside of your defender, keeping the ball low. And with that last step, you're going to go up strong for the finish. Want to really improve your layups and finish like the pros? Then don't forget to click my free Skill Spark workout pinned in the comments and hit that like and subscribe button for more content coming soon.